Hey everyone, ready to dive into the sometimes crazy world of crypto?
I know I am.
Today we're tackling the Winklevoss twins and their wild ride with Bitcoin.
Sounds fascinating.
It is. We'll go from their Facebook days all the way to their plans for a decentralized internet.
Oh, wow. Ambitious.
You said it. Our main source is this YouTube video from Magnates Media called The Controversial Twins Who Own All the Bitcoin.
Oh, I've seen that one. It's a wild ride.
It really is. So buckle up because things are about to get interesting.
Exactly.
What's especially interesting is how their story kind of mirrors the whole evolution of Bitcoin itself.
Yeah, you see them go from outsiders to, like, major players.
Totally. Okay, let's rewind a bit. Most people know the Winklevoss twins from that Facebook lawsuit, right?
Right. Claiming Mark Zuckerberg stole their idea, went to court, settled for $65 million.
Big money.
Huge. But get this, instead of taking the cash, they took Facebook stock.
Really? That's risky.
Very risky. Especially because, well, their reputation wasn't the best after that lawsuit.
Yeah, kind of seen as entitled, just wanting to cash in.
Exactly. So they jumped into angel investing, trying to reinvent themselves a bit.
Prove they were more than just, like, those Facebook guys.
Yeah, but they hit a wall. Silicon Valley didn't really trust them.
Because of the Zuckerberg thing.
Pretty much.
Wow, so they couldn't catch a break?
Not really, no.
So picture this, they're in Ibiza on vacation.
Try and relax.
Exactly, figure out their next move. And that's where Bitcoin enters the picture.
You're kidding.
Nope. This guy, David Izar, comes up to them on the beach.
No way.
I swear. Pulls out a dollar bill and starts talking about this new thing called Bitcoin.
On a beach in Ibiza, that's how they hear about Bitcoin.
I know, right? This is 2012, keep in mind. Bitcoin was like this obscure thing.
Yeah, associated with the dark web, all that.
Exactly. Most people hadn't even heard of it.
Let alone invest in it.
But the twins, they had this economics background.
Right, they saw something different.
They did. They understood this whole decentralized system thing, especially after the 2008 financial crisis.
Oh, yeah, people were losing faith in the banks.
Big time. So they start digging deeper.
Into Bitcoin.
Yeah. They learn about Satoshi Nakamoto, the mysterious creator, the limited supply, the whole digital gold idea.
It's an interesting concept, for sure.
And then there's this story that really caught their attention.
Okay, what story?
This guy bought 2 pizzas with 10,000 Bitcoin back in 2010.
Oh, I've heard about this. At the time, seemed like a fair trade.
Right. But now those pizzas would be worth, well, a lot.
Hundreds of millions, potentially.
Easy, right?
Makes you think about all the things you've maybe thrown away.
Totally. But the twins, they saw the potential.
The scarcity, the idea that its value would go up as more people used it.
Yeah, but it was still a risky bet.
Oh, absolutely, a huge risk.
So they take the plunge. Their first move is investing in this tiny company, Bitinstant.
Run by Charlie Shrem.
You know it. And it was basically this small operation.
Like out of his mom's basement, wasn't it?
Yeah, basically. But the twins saw it as a way to get in the game.
Makes sense.
So they pump in $1.5 million, start buying up Bitcoin like crazy.
200,000 coins at under $10 each.
1% of all the Bitcoin out there at that time.
Bold move.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, were they just lucky with their timing? Or did they actually see something others didn't?
Well, the timing definitely helped. Remember the Cyprus banking crisis in 2013?
Oh, yeah. That was big news.
The government took money from people's accounts to bail out their banks.
This is a mess.
Total mess. And suddenly, this idea of a decentralized currency outside of government control, it became really appealing.
Yeah, Bitcoin started to look pretty good.
It did. And its price started going up.
And the twins, they were right there, riding the wave.
Promoting Bitcoin all over the world, pushing for some regulation, too.
Really? Regulation?
Yeah, they thought it would help Bitcoin go mainstream.
Interesting. But didn't that cause some tension?
Oh, yeah, big time. The hardcore Bitcoin folks, they hated the idea of regulation.
It went against the whole decentralized spirit of it, right?
Exactly. So you had this clash of ideologies, kind of showed the growing pains of this new technology.
Makes sense. So while they're dealing with that, they've also got this drama brewing back at Bitinstant.
Ah, yes, Charlie Shrem. Things were about to get messy.
That they did.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have a huge impact on the twins and their Bitcoin journey.
Can't wait to hear about that.
Stick around. It's about to get even more interesting. Okay, so last we left off, the Winklevoss twins are riding this Bitcoin high, but things are going south with Bitinstant and Charlie Shrem.
Right, right. And while they're out there promoting Bitcoin on a global stage, Shrem's back home, not really doing his job at Bitinstant.
Not doing his job, how so?
Partying, cutting corners, doing some shady things.
Sadie, like what? Give us the details.
Okay, remember Silk Road, that huge online black market, all running on Bitcoin?
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, turns out a big Bitinstant user, this guy with the username BTC King, was funneling tons of money through the platform.
Probably to buy stuff on Silk Road, right? Illegal stuff.
Almost definitely. And Shrem, as the compliance officer, he was supposed to report that, legally obligated.
But he didn't.
Nope. He actually tried to hide those transactions.
Wow. So he was knowingly letting this illegal activity happen.
Pretty much.
And the Winklevoss twins, they didn't suspect anything.
Well, they started to get suspicious, especially after this meeting Shrem had with some big-time investors.
Oh, what happened?
He wasn't prepared at all, acted super unprofessional. Everyone could see he was in over his head.
Yikes. So things are already tense, and then boom, the FBI shuts down Silk Road, arrests the mastermind.
Right. And suddenly, Bitcoin is all over the news again, linked to this whole criminal underworld.
The price must have tanked.
It did. A lot of people thought that was it for Bitcoin in the end.
Yeah, I bet. But not the Winklevoss twins, right?
Nope. They saw it differently.
They must have been freaking out, though, right?
Yeah.
Their investment was going down the drain.
They were worried, sure, but they also saw this as a chance. They thought getting rid of Silk Road would actually make Bitcoin more legitimate in the long run.
So while everyone else is panicking, selling off their Bitcoin, they're buying more.
Exactly. Buying it at a discount.
Wow. Talk about conviction.
Yeah.
They really believed in this digital gold idea.
They did, and they believed in hodling, holding on to their Bitcoin for the long term.
That takes guts. But it wasn't all smooth sailing, right? What happened with Bitinstant and Shrem after his arrest?
Yeah, things came crashing down for Shrem. Arrested in 2014, charged with money laundering, all sorts of stuff.
From high-flying CEO to facing serious prison time.
Yep. It was a huge case, the first big one related to Bitcoin.
So what happened?
Shrem ended up pleading guilty, spent 2 years in prison.
Wow. And the Winklevoss twins, how did they react to all this?
They were furious. They felt betrayed. Shrem's actions had hurt Bitcoin's reputation, not to mention their investment.
Makes sense. So what did they do?
They sued him for a lot of Bitcoin, like 5,000, worth millions at the time.
They weren't messing around.
Nope. This whole Bitinstant mess, it was a turning point for them. They saw the dangers of a totally unregulated crypto market.
But they still believed in Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah. They just realized it needed something more, something safer.
Which led them to create their own exchange, Gemini.
Exactly. Remember Mt. Gox? That other exchange that collapsed.
Oh, yeah. Another disaster. Lost a ton of Bitcoin, right?
Hundreds of thousands. Hackers got in.
It seemed like the early Bitcoin days were just one mess after another.
It was the Wild West out there. But those failures, they showed that people needed a trustworthy, secure platform. And that's what the Winklevoss twins wanted to build with Gemini.
So Gemini was their attempt to create some order out of the chaos?
Absolutely. A regulated exchange, security, compliance, the whole 9 yards.
A complete 180 from their Bitinstant experience.
You could say that. No more shady stuff. Gemini was all about doing things the right way.
They really changed their tune on regulation, huh?
Well, they realized it was necessary. If Bitcoin was going to be taken seriously, it needed some rules.
So while Coinbase, FTX, all these other exchanges were popping up, Gemini was different, more regulated.
Exactly. They were the first to really focus on that institutional level security and compliance.
Paving the way for more people to get into Bitcoin.
That's the idea. But through all this, they never sold those Bitcoin they bought early on.
Those 200,000 coins, I'm guessing that was a good decision.
You could say that. As the crypto market grew, Bitcoin's price went up. Slowly at first, then it just exploded.
It hit $1,000, 10,000, 20,000.
It was insane, a total bull run.
And those coins, they were worth billions.
The Winklevoss twins became the world's first Bitcoin billionaires, besides the mysterious Satoshi, of course.
What a comeback story. From the Winklevoss to Bitcoin royalty.
It's pretty remarkable. But it doesn't stop there. They've stayed in the game, investing in new projects, and now they're pushing for this whole Web3 thing.
Web3. It's like they're trying to build a new internet.
That's exactly what they want to do. An internet free from the control of big companies like, well, Facebook.
It's like poetic justice after their fight with Zuckerberg.
You could see it that way. Web3 is all about giving users more control, more power over their data, their experience online.
Sounds ambitious.
Yeah.
But what does that even mean in practice? What is Web3?
So Web3, it's kind of like, imagine an internet where you have more control over your data, your identity. Your whole online experience, really.
Okay, less big tech control. Got it. More power to the people. But how does that actually work? What would that look like?
Well, think about NFTs, for example.
NFTs, those digital art things.
Yeah, they're like unique digital assets, art, music, whatever, and they're all verified on a blockchain.
Which means what exactly?
It means they can't be copied. No counterfeits. So creators, they have this new way to make money from their work directly.
Yeah.
No more relying on record labels or galleries or, the middleman.
So like a musician could sell their music directly to fans as an NFT.
Yeah, exactly. And the fans actually own a piece of that digital creation.
Okay, that's pretty cool. It's like a whole new economy for digital stuff. Creators have more control, fans can support artists directly.
Exactly. But it's not just about NFTs. Web3 is a lot more than that.
Okay, what else is there?
Well, there's DeFi, decentralized finance.
DeFi, that sounds complicated.
It's basically a way to borrow, lend, invest money, all without traditional banks.
No banks. How does that even work?
Through blockchain technology, it's all about making finance more open and accessible.
So cutting out the big institutions.
Right. Then you have DAOs.
DAOs, what are those?
Decentralized autonomous organizations.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
It is, but think of it like online communities making decisions together.
Using blockchain.
Yep. For transparency and security. It's a whole new way of collaborating and making decisions online.
Okay, so Web3, it's kind of like taking everything we do online, the banking, the shopping, the creating, and rebuilding it all on this decentralized foundation.
Exactly. It's pretty radical, right?
Definitely radical. And are the Winklevoss twins all in on this?
They are. They've been investing in Web3 projects, building platforms, really trying to make this vision a reality.
It's almost like they're trying to rewrite history, like create the internet they wish they had built in the first place.
You could say that, but they're businessmen too. They see the potential, not just for changing the internet, but for making money too.
So is this all just hype? Is Web3 the real deal, or is it just a bunch of hot air?
I mean, there's always hype with new tech, right? Especially when there's money to be made. And yeah, there are definitely challenges with Web3. It's still early days.
So should I be rushing out to buy NFTs and join these DAOs?
It's not about rushing into anything. It's more about understanding what this stuff is and how it could change things. The internet's evolving, and Web3 is a big part of that. It's up to us to decide how we want to be a part of it.
Okay, so be informed, be cautious. Got it.
Yeah. And whether you love tech or you're just curious about what's next for the internet, the Winklevoss twins story is a pretty good example of what can happen.
From taking on Zuckerberg to becoming Bitcoin billionaires to now pushing for this whole Web3 thing, it's wild.
It is. And it kind of shows that the world can change really fast. And sometimes the people you least expect are the ones shaping the future.
Totally. Their story is a roller coaster. Ambition, innovation, never giving up. Even when people doubted them, they took risks, they made mistakes, but they kept going.
And it makes you think, will Web3 actually live up to all the hype? Will they succeed in building this new internet?
So many questions. I guess only time will tell.
That's the truth. But this is just the beginning.
For sure. Keep your eyes open, stay curious, and we'll see what happens next. That's it for our deep dive into the Winklevoss twins and their crazy journey with Bitcoin and Web3. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the exciting world of tech and innovation.